Alright, this is Eric Ross, the director, doing the director's commentary on Dawn. And Jordan was supposed to be here, but he couldn't make it, so it's just me. So here we go. Alright, this little intro here was, this is Fear by Raw. And I kind of like it because it kind of fits with the general theme of the movie. It's very dark, and I like it. And kind of, so it, along with the love thing at the end, are kind of a reference to Donnie Darko, which is pretty cool, I think. So, yeah, that's why this is here. And there's some other things, the reasons I think it ties in with the movie, but I'll let you figure those out for yourselves. So there you go. Alright, this is a digital zoom on some stock static footage that I have. And this is a digital zoom on this shot because, unfortunately, my camera that does reels, true zoom, optical zoom rather, died just before we started filming. I really enjoy this whole segment right here because I think the music works really well with the angles and stuff and the titles. Although the rest of the song sounds quite a bit different than the intro to this particular song.
Chad! What?
Obviously, this whole scene is done in green screen. Well, most of this whole scene.
No.
As you can tell by the little occasional green specks, especially right here, it's probably the worst shot. Got a little light on that side. My green screen actually looks a little better than Jeff's because we had better lighting setup. It was actually done quite a bit later, and that's actually Jordan driving with Jeff in the passenger seat right there. And that ringtone right there is Mad World by Gary Jules. It's from it was the themes, kind of the main title theme track song to the movie Donnie Darko, which is obviously this movie is a spin-off of, because I talk about it, and will talk about it, through this whole director's commentary.
Some kind of debris from a plane fell on the road.
Donnie Darko reference. Plane fell. Yeah. Once again, Jordan, stunt double driving for Jeff there.
You ever have one of those mornings where you feel like you're still dreaming?
You see a little bit yellow right there when it gets dark up in my top of the corner, or the top of the, not even the corner, just the top center of my shot right there.
So how's work at the airline these days?
My hair's sticking out. I think that's funny.
Now I've been promoted. I get to make sure the seats are filled with bags of peanuts and emergency procedure pamphlets and everything. Chuckle.
And all of Jeff's video side on the green screen is actually inverted. That was actually Jeff driving right there, with me in the passenger seat. And this is obviously all real, there's no green screen right here.
You actually keep gloves in your glove compartment? Freak.
And this is Pontiac symbol, which will make sense later in the movie with the, well, hopefully it'll make sense. It's supposed to be like where,
Hey, where you going?
in the past, the car that ends up getting destroyed, actually in this particular timeline, the Tangent universe, was already destroyed, but there was just a mystery, like they don't know why it was destroyed. They just found the car, it was wrecked, no one was in it, no evidence in it, that kind of thing. And that piece of metal Jeff just threw off of himself was actually just a piece of, not even a piece of metal, it was a piece of foam with this silver painting stuff on it.
Drink your milk, fool. It pays off like that.
Obviously a Mr. T reference there with the Mr. T shirt. This shot we actually had to cut a little bit off the end because when he pulls that trunk down, you can see my house, which would have been bad. And this right here, what I pull out is a email address that I actually get later emails from later in the movie. And actually Jeff's character does too. So it's r.a.sparrow@hotmail.com, but don't send me emails because I don't check it. And this shot right here where the envelope burns, we actually left it where I threw it and came back later and burnt it, and then we sped it up and added the audio effects. Which gave it kind of a creepy effect. Actually fooled my little sister on that one.
Recycling plant closes in about half an hour. Can't we just sell it next week or something? You know we gotta be home. Mom and Dad are taking Carrie to her friend's house tonight. And we gotta be home
This
to
took
have
me
her packing
forever to
stuff.
remember.
And we've got no
It's
way.
like that's the first
You
line,
wanna say
that
we
the
need to
big
practice,
first
but
big
remember,
line that
we're
we
practicing
shot
so
for
we
me
can record.
without a script.
Priorities. They can chill till we get back. Like I said, it won't take us a half an hour to get there, maybe a full hour to get back home.
That's actually Jeff driving, as you can see. Couldn't do stunt double for that. Didn't really need to because I only drove about 3 feet, which made it look like he was driving up. And if you notice, that's signals. This is the car that got crashed earlier, but nobody. Jeff doesn't. Jeff's character figures it out later, but my character is supposed to have won this at prom, which is kind of hinted at later. James's character talks about he should have won it, but yeah, the storyline there is actually that he won it at prom. And right here, the family, well, Katie's character, Carrie, and my mom are actually watching an old movie that we did in senior year of high school. It was Hamlet versus the Matrix. And I wanted to have a little reference or a little bit of like strange timeline stuff going on there. And I thought that was pretty cool to have.
No, we woke up. Think for yourself.
Mom, did you pack my camera for Dollar?
No, I don't know where you put it. You better go find it. It's almost time for bed. She's lucky I didn't ground her for a month after that disappearing act she tried a couple weeks ago.
I can't find my wallet anywhere. Phil, your buddy Mark's family's trying to get.
I found it interesting here that Phil doesn't know Mark's number, but somehow the guy that Terrence, he later magically has the number because he talks to Mark. Or maybe he had his cell phone number or something. See, R.8 Sparrow, you can see the edge of the email right there.
What?
Did I leave my camera in here?
No, Carrie, and if you were in here, I obviously wasn't. You don't need to be coming in my room without telling me first.
This is what the manipulated dead, aka Mark, technically there he's a manipulated dead though, drops off a USB flash drive that Carrie later obviously finds and uses to get the first half of the Philosophy of Time Travel. That I get emailed, and then you just have to assume that later she gets the second half with which Jeff's character Phil gets. That's a digital zoom right there, because I was kind of smiling, but it worked pretty well because I talk and it cuts back, and it didn't look half bad.
Really? I guess we better get on it in the next few days then. I wish we waited.
It fools the eye, kind of. You almost would think that it was a digital zoom, but it was.
Yeah, I guess. Whatever. Alright, get out of here. I'm hitting the hay.
Right here, obviously, he's looking back, remember, in the morning, trying to figure out what was going on with that.
Chad, you need to cut the grass sometime today.
Everyone here actually had something to drink except for Jeff. He didn't. He just gave him a cup there. He's also the only one that doesn't talk in this scene, which is kind of funny. He's like, I don't do anything in this one. I'm sad.
Chad, that temper of yours gonna get
This we actually shot later. You can hear Josh in the background right there. Just kind of funny. I'm gonna shot that much later because we missed it in the first shooting of that stuff. Jeff's reading a metal magazine there.
You use that as an excuse all the time. Just because I'm trying to start a career in music, and it steams you. You just don't think I can. I bet you never.
That's enough. It's just a little sibling scuffle getting out of hand. There's nothing to get riled up about.
Nothing. Mom, as always, I'm trying to get through him that I want to write, and I'm not going to let my life be a pencil-pushing hell like his. And you just shrug it off.
I don't appreciate that tone.
He tried to send me into desk job internships for the last 4 summers, especially now that we finally have a chance to get something recorded. And
let the whole world hear what you have to
Obviously,
say.
Dad's reading from a script there. You can see him looking through his bifocals, which is pretty funny. We did that actually a lot. Anytime you see a headshot that close, we were using the script. The only exception when it wasn't that close was in the car. When we did the green screen car stuff was we were reading from the script during all that. But with the exception of that and headshots, everything was actually pretty much not memorized, but kind of like, okay, got it.
Fine, go
That
blow
kind of
off
thing.
some steam then.
This was actually much earlier, shot much earlier than that previous scene.
Did you make any money with that junk you were looking at yesterday?
Yeah, we did fine.
What's that about?
It's Dad again.
Man, not today. I thought we were gonna have a couple of jams.
We were.
He's not ruining this with all that drama crap again.
Right here, my character's supposed to have some power over the control of water, which is a Donnie Darko reference again, as the whole movie has a lot of Donnie Darko things in it, because it is a spin-off in a very small
Seriously, just
sense
come
of the
off
word.
You know your dad's not the free-spirited type, but he doesn't oppose to you doing this either.
He might as well. He doesn't believe in all this music and band
All my
and
shirts
stuff.
look kind of unflattering in this because they were all old shirts that I used so I could use them without
Hey,
having to
Bob
worry
and I
about
actually share the same taste in vinyl, and he doesn't really want us to quit
having
anyway.
like a shirt. I didn't want to use shirts that I would normally wear.
Some huge record tycoon was gonna rip us off at the drop of a hat.
Originally, I had them out for Matt because I used the smaller ones, but he ended up being like this, so
Later on, it'd be nice
it
to
worked
get
out
some more
okay.
experience for the paperwork, you know.
Hey, Phil's experience. He knows people in town. Besides, he got the demo deal, didn't he? That can lead to great things.
This right here took me forever to say.
Legendary sound can abound from an earthbound background.
Whoa, save the rounds for later. I'm just saying we need a backup plan, and not just for our band either. Remember my cousin Louie? He remembered his acting career. He just made a few bad decisions. No fault of his own, and look at him now.
There's a fly that flew by the camera right there. You can actually hear Jordan laughing about it.
On the steel mill or something. He's just been roaming around the country and stuff. I haven't really heard much of him except for like holidays and stuff.
You know, I was thinking about quitting. The band, my writing, everything. I know Dad's no fool, but he's just so preoccupied with everything he's trying to do. He just thinks it's a phase I'm going through, like he knows what I'm going to do with my life.
Well, he's just looking out for you.
I get that. What I don't understand is why he never gets on Phil or Carrie's case. Every time he sees me with a pen and pencil, he tells me to stop fooling around or wasting paper, do something with my summer. Every time he says that, I just write another page.
Civil disobedience at its finest.
It doesn't matter what he or anyone else thinks, though. I'm going to try for the singer-songwriter gig. If it doesn't work, that's fine. But I will be writing something. The pen prevails over anything he or anyone else can throw at me.
You got me in tears. Try not to be so much like a soap opera next time. I can't believe I didn't win this. This car is taking us places.
I'm not going anywhere in it now, none of that. Come on, let's get inside and get a couple practice out before everyone has to leave. Man, thanks a lot, Steve. You really helped me out in a hard situation. Once again.
Whoa, you're getting a little broke back on me. Just calm down.
Hey, Phil, where you going, man? We need an audience.
Can I say I need to see you right now? Something's going on in there. Something not good. I'll see you later, okay? I gotta go. Bye.
Go on ahead and tune up. I'll catch up in a minute.
Okay, right here's where Katie actually uses that flash drive I mentioned, or Carrie, rather, uses that flash drive. And gets the first part of the philosophy of time travel. Sorry I was away for a little bit there. I had to turn the mic off so we wouldn't get annoying background noise. And I'm getting ready to leave for a little while longer. So I'll be back in a minute. Just in a minute.
Man, with the way you
I really wish Phil was here. We need somebody to tell us how we're doing. We haven't practiced in ages.
Sure thing.
Maybe next time.
1, 2, 3, 4.
If you watch actually the Ron Bina site, we may later have a live version of the song that riff is in. So that's pretty cool, I guess. That's why we're wearing the same outfits as we are there.
Saw something in the paper about a wreck.
This was actually some of the first stuff we shot right here, because we had to get Matt's
Last night,
stuff done because he didn't have much of a chance to do anything.
all the really new, expensive equipment we had. Didn't lay a finger on all the old stuff. That's Providence at work. We would have gone completely under if they would have taken one more amp.
Those guys took everything you just bought?
Busted up all the glass too. Place is a wreck, Phil. Man, I've got to close up shop for the next week to get all the equipment replaced. Police said they couldn't do anything more than keep an eye on the warehouse. So we're pretty much screwed here.
The guys don't like this at all. They wanted to get the recording done and distributed a little bit before the town fair at the end of the month, so they could do a live show to a crowd that actually heard of them.
Tough luck. What's even tougher is that I can't cut you any slack on the standard fee now.
What? Terrence, man, you promised. You gave me your word.
My word doesn't take thieves into account, Phil. I mean, we've lost a lot of expensive stuff, so until we raise enough for the backup gear, we're out of discounts. I'm sorry, Phil, but it's death for business to do favors at a time like this. I mean, be reasonable here.
Yeah. Wait. What if I put my promotional talents to work for you, free of charge, to help you draw a few more customers?
You have talents?
Gar. There's one thing I know with people in the summer is they want stuff to do, and what they also enjoy is karaoke.
Karaoke?
Karaoke. The chance to break your friends is irresistible, and since the interstate is jacked up near here, not many local people are going places, right? So here's the idea. It doesn't take much to run the microphones, I know. And there are enough people around here just for run the show, so we can get some drinks or something, and get a theme for it, and have like a $10 or $15 door charge. It's not more than paying gas going over the state for movies or whatever.
Phil, you're a dreamer, an ambitious guy even, when you have to be. This is the worst idea I've ever heard.
I swear to work. I know a guy, he's like a playwright or something. He works with actors all the time and such. He's really good with costumes, theatrics, the works. He could rig up some kind of stage, dress up the place, make it look like whatever.
You're not going to shut up about this.
No way.
This guy could really wow him.
He's supposed to say that this guy could really wow mine with a little bit of question in his voice, but he didn't really, and he forgot to reshoot that. So, you know, that's what you're left with, I guess.
Got everything, kiddo? You didn't miss the kitchen sink, did you?
That line took forever to shoot right there
10 miles away.
because they all kept
You hear that,
laughing.
Chad? Just in case you have to go find her.
Oh, he's pouting again.
Don't you have a trick?
A little bit of continued issue right here. That
You're gonna miss me, though.
remote is laying on the chair there, and I magically have it here in a minute. But there's a spot that I can say that I must have picked it up here, like right after she walks over there.
We'll be back in a while. Don't burn the
Or
house
after I say this line,
or any strange guests.
In other words,
you can assume that I went and picked the remote up right there.
We got dinner on the way back. Tell Phil. Bye.
Right here, this sound, for those of you who aren't MSN friendly, is actually the new MSN You've Got Mail sound. Obviously, here's when I finally break down and open up the philosophy of time travel thing, which Katie has already gotten and viewed. Probably, I guess you could. I don't know if she would have gotten Phil's part yet, but that probably happens a little bit later.
time travel? Weird.
Obviously, right here, he's getting the money out to pay Terrence, which later you'll see in an envelope that says Phil's money in day 3.
What are you doing, Phil?
Yeah, I think my ambitions.
Phil, what happened?
Terrence Studios kind of destroyed.
Kind of destroyed?
You can't cut us any slack on the deal like I thought.
What are you thinking, Phil? It's taking a prepayment on a shoddy place like that.
Hey, Terrence's place is
That was
good.
obviously with a script right there.
You were the one who put me in charge of this kind of thing, so you could write your precious songs without thought how you get them on the market.
You. Yeah, Phil. I'm sorry, man. I just beginning to bit too off about this roadblock we've been hitting lately. It's like the whole universe is headed after us.
It'll be alright, just let me handle it. I've got a plan to help out Terrence and I'll cut us some slack.
And that just shot past one with me, that last shot before he right there, was actually shot a lot later, which is quite a bit darker. I brightened it up as much as I could, but you could still kind of tell.
I thought we might do Blargnon.
I hate this is my least favorite shot in the movie right here because I didn't get it framed up right, so I'm like barely visible on frame, you know.
Don't come to me.
Just have something picked out though. Looks bad on you to be so aimless.
Don't worry about it, man. I got it covered.
See, I thought this was then I was supposed to keep an eye on for you.
With that, it make you boss.
We didn't decompose it quite yet, but I think that was you.
Oh yeah, Phil. I really want you to take over work and use it as your little platform to get your cruddy life out of the gutter.
Oh, your work. You just pick up your little guitar and play your little tunes. See how far it gets you when you don't have a.
We're back, -1. I'll quite
Right here, Mom asked the question, where was this father during that? Well, I'm assuming he was still out in the car, parking in the car or something,
Hey, it's a tricky
because it's only a couple seconds, so maybe he comes in a little bit later. Who knows? Who knows? Right there, he was shrugging off going and checking on Chad. So that little hand thing was.
Yeah, Phil told me you do.
Deja vu. This is one of the better shots. You can't excessively tell that there's a script here. It's over on the far left corner.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the theme's a little odd, but for some reason, it really hooks you when you see the way it's done up. No.
I think it's with the exception of the car shots, and
Really?
this is the only other place where we didn't
I'm not
use
much of this kind of thing anyway.
close-ups for the
If
script
you're
parts.
feeling obliged to Phil, I'm certain he'd appreciate you hosting it.
Matt's wearing actually the same pants throughout everything he does in the movie. Because he was for one day and didn't bring his separate pairs of pants. It would have been okay if he would have worn blue jeans, but, you know, oh well. He just got his crap broken into. I guess he got nothing else to do.
Where's the? I just had. Time to spread the word.
Yeah, this whole section right here is Vicky's not playing bass. That's all me dubbing over with later.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Let's get started with Blargnon. See where we go from there.
Blargnon? You sure you want that?
Blargnon was our little
What's wrong?
filler word that Jordan used, and we ended up using it for that part of the movie. It's actually, I think I put a thank you to it and a special thanks at the end. And it's actually mentioned in the bloopers if you watch it to the very end, so go do that on disc 2. Unless you don't have disc 2, and then you suck.
What's wrong?
You're right about that, Phil. We gotta do something they never heard. Something we really sink our claws into.
Thank you, Chad. I've been telling you from the start you should really use.
But you're still not the one that's gonna be telling us what
He
to
said
play.
you should really use Bob
Something to do,
right
something to
there.
do.
Whoa, you've never read this about me yet.
I'm afraid you're going to get naked. That's what he said right there. That's actually Crazy Train, just played differently. If you listen to it, you can tell. I love the way Dr. Improv drums right there. It's pretty nice. That was, if you didn't hear it, was you're running out of time, all of you. There may be some occasional background noise on this. It may be kind of overwhelmingly a large amount of background was because parents and stuff, brothers and sisters, TVs. Yeah. Try to get as much of that out as I can. That's the outside of the record studio. Because my character goes there later that night. That's what that is about. You must take the wheel. And I don't take the wheel for very long. Carrie knocks it out of my hands. No.
Why do you wear the stupid hat all the time?
That's minced cherries, and also the reason my mother has a special effects makeup credit in the credits.
Hey, where'd Phil go? His absence is noticeable.
This is true. We are lacking in the field department.
Filter it up. Let's just keep going.
Obviously right here I'm looking at the mirror, just still kind of freaked out about what just happened. And this is my favorite shot in the movie right here. Bam. I love that. Disembodied light turning on, and it's kind of a cool shot. Actually, that's probably my second favorite shot. My favorite shot is in a second with Jordan's silhouette when he says, only time will tell. That's the money I mentioned earlier. The same money he got out of the drawer. And these special effects right here were done completely by Jordan in Flash, no less. With a kind of a greens background, and I edited that part out. Thought it was quite cool. This part here, me try to tell you what he's actually saying, because it's kind of hard to understand. There's only one more task for you. Look up. And then I look up at the portal that he just made in the sky. And I say, why are you showing me this? And he says, another will make a portal like this one. It is his role. You must find it within yourself, or within others, to save all life. And the portal closes. Time is running short. Do you want to know anything else? Just one thing, will it work? And obviously that's my favorite shot. Most definitely the other one's second favorite. Right there I'm cutting the quote-unquote gas line, which is mentioned here in a minute. Right here he's obviously just gotten the second, or has recently gotten the second part of the philosophy of time travel. And is reading over it. And then he goes down, picks up the newspaper, which apparently has the picture of the car that had crashed without anyone in it. And I realized that it is in fact the same car that Chad won at prom. Which, I don't know if I mentioned, that's actually an inside joke in that, I mentioned that. Did I mention? Yeah, I mentioned the part about me winning a car. And selling it to make, I don't remember if I did or not. Well, I'll mention it again even if I did. Won a car at prom myself and sold it to buy this computer, which is making the movie on right now. Kind of interested in about this date. It's the day that who is Katie's character, dies, but in reality it's actually my little sister's actual birthday, which is purely accident until I got there. I was like, oh, wow, because that was one of the last things. That was something that was kind of left up to me to put in. And Jordan kind of left that open, so I was like, oh, this is cool. That works. Right here, my legs change positions. They say that's the only shot where they change positions.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark's already showed and just up the place. It's all ready. Files are up, words out. So I'm kind of relieved you guys don't want to come and see me embarrass myself.
Yeah, we can't sell ourselves too short anyway. Character contests just don't look good on a resume, no matter how professional the environment.
This is true.
You seem a little jumpy. Something on your nerves?
No, I'm fine. I'm just trying to piece it all together. You guys have everything you need? Except me?
Yeah, I think we'd scrape out without you.
What?
We're gonna be out by ourselves tonight. No music and bureaucracy to deal with up in the record.
Oh.
Unless you don't trust us.
Nay, you're fine. Just sounded great, I guess. What do I know?
Phil, you're not still doubting us.
Chad, I know you really want to record your songs, but
There you go again. Man, I thought you were over this.
no, I'm not talking about what you do with the band. But don't go there either. I'm trying to say,
What, Phil? What?
Terrence called this morning and said the payment we gave him to hold some time for us stolen.
No.
Yes, but Chad, there's something else.
I'm pregnant.
It's gotta sound professional from
Watch the
start, Phil.
bloopers and
now
you'll
this,
get that.
Look what's happened. We're broke. We're basically breaking our backs to help get
Been
that stupid
breaking our
studio
backs.
fixed. And for what? Nothing.
Terrence couldn't help it. Whoever it was,
This whole thing right here where neither of us have our shoes on, and then we magically do. There's one shot where we can kind of put in a fudge factor and say, okay, this is where we were both putting our shoes on, because the way Jordan looked in during it, you kind of assumed that he couldn't really see anybody. So I was running back to put my shoes on, and Jeff was actually just putting his shoes on to go catch up with
So we're
Mark.
not going to be recording a demo anytime soon. So that's some good news, though. As our so-called manager doesn't know when to consult the people we're trying to organize, I'll personally be making sure we get back on our feet and into a real studio. In the meantime, round up the guys and head over to that shoddy little place he and Terrence spiffed up and keep the crowd happy with a little bootleg performance. No, you know what, Phil? It's not worth
So right there, he was trying to say something. It was kind of hard to notice that.
I don't think there's anything you can say about it.
Chad, you're an idiot.
He wasn't actually using the
Go
script
ahead
right
and
here,
let
even though I
things
shot it
crumble
like he
around you
was.
in your local grave
He was
all
going
your
to,
face
but I
when it comes
couldn't
down to
get out there to hold it.
You've always
I think,
had no
something
common
like that.
sense with your head stuck in your metaphors. I'm sure Mom would be so proud to see you fold so early in the game. Not to mention the fact that Dad's going to have a time rubbing in your face when he proves that he was right to hold you down.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Well, as far as I can say, you never had
I was reading from a script on the other hand. Was I'm a little closer to that side where Jeff is holding it.
What does Mom have to do with this? No, let me tell you something.
I was actually doing that whole time right there with the papers, was reading from my script there.
Hurt knowing that he's always hated what I've been doing? Just shut up.
Slam. Butt kicking. I don't know how we magically got back up there. Slow-mo. Yeah. Okay, now still we don't have our shoes on.
Is that your anger and your pride controlling me?
Right here I do say that we're going to put our songs on MySpace or something, which is a reference to the Ron being
We'll
a
get the guys together.
phenomenon.
We'll just put our songs on MySpace or something.
No shoes. Right here is where we supposedly put our shoes on.
Hurry, I think I left my keys here the other day. Do you mind if I come and see if I
So I'm coming back, bam. Hitting with the mofo of a shovel.
Chad, what'd you do, Chad? You killed Mark.
Yeah, right here I'm showing him in the Philosophy of Time Travel, Part 1.
Where did you get that?
Someone wouldn't stop
And
me from-
then here's where we found out he was actually reading the Philosophy of Time Travel,
We had that junk out.
Part 2.
Phil, I saw him like he was.
Chad, I got hurt too.
Phil, what's going on?
Yours says it's part 1. Mine was part 2.
What does this mean?
Oh, did I mention earlier that the reason Jeff doesn't look like, I don't think I did, the reason that Jeff doesn't look like the rest of the family is because he's adopted. That's his storyline. Apparently he was adopted before in vitro. That's a knife holding that right sign up there. That was quite difficult to get into the wall there.
Now look, you've all got your refunds, so just go home. Try to enjoy your evenings, if you can.
Hey, Chad, you can't. It's not right to.
What, Phil? I can't believe I'm even buying into this. This nonsense. Besides, I don't even care what happens.
No, you haven't thought through, Chad. You haven't thought of anything.
Help me, Phil. Help me do it. Show me why.
You You've got your mother and father who haven't even seen their golden years on the horizon. And they've still got to take care of Carrie, who hasn't even really started living yet. You've got your friends, the people who at least try to understand you and your ambitions. You've got the other guys in the band, who I never really encouraged enough. Like I didn't stand behind you, like Dad never really stood behind you. Chad, I'm sorry for that. But think of it all. Think of everyone else who has something to live for. Phil, I just don't know.
Yeah, this whole thing is right here. It's clearly read from script.
If I knew God cared, if I knew something would change for the better, I'd do this in a heartbeat. But I don't have that assurance, Phil.
Chad, just because no one's looking at you, at us, doing what we're supposed to do, it doesn't mean it's not worth doing. You've got to consider the people who could live on and do great things. Think of Steve, the best friend you've ever had, and one of the best drummers you've ever heard, that I've ever heard for that matter. You do know, even if no one else makes it, he could. Now do you want to let it all go to waste just because you're afraid to act? Now that you can do something with your life?
Life.
Steve. Yeah. Steve's always been the guy that pushes me to taking chances and help fix things when I screw everything up. Phil, I'm sorry I got so hard on you. I don't know what it was.
It's alright, Chad. Good brothers can't hold grudges. Especially not now.
Okay, right here, since the powers of Donnie Darko was split in between the three of us, there's points of all of us here. Because Jeff has just made the portal. Well, Phil. I'm getting ready to send myself through the portal, but then via digital camera movement, I get pushed out by Carrie, who has a flashback. Right now. That's me driving, by the way. We let Katie drive. Flashback, she's reading The Philosophy of Time Travel, obviously complete.
But I'm scared. No one will know where I'm at.
Show you what will happen, so you will know. None of what you read is fiction.
Here's her leaving the friend's house that she went to spend the night with. And the mother hangs up because she's worried. She's got the phone call that she ran away. This is later in the day, after she sees me kill him. And this line with Jordan is very important. He says, after Carrie says, I don't do it on my own. He says, few people will do. Or no, he says, no one does. But few people realize how much they are loved.
Until they truly understand, they aren't alone.
Until they truly understand they're not alone. Which is a really awesome line that Jordan got to end his vocal part with. And here's Love, which is actually on the Raw album, signifies the second half of the album. This actually more signifies the fact that we just went back in time. And the fact that Carrie sacrificed herself. Back in time, the proper timeline, after everything has been corrected. Nice little montage here with the parents mourning the loss of their child. Mark trying to figure out what the F just happened, his head. And then our characters both looking through windows and trying to figure stuff out. Obviously he's looking at where the car was, and I was looking at the emails that I no longer was getting. And then here is us both reminiscing about trying to figure out what happened to Carrie, even though we really can't figure it out. We were supposed to be the only two with any hint of what happened left, other than Mark.
I know. Something's okay.
I like that end shot right there. And so yeah, that's Dawn. And these are the credits. And I will see you all on the next project.
Peace out. Peace out.
From